Hi, welcome to another... Hello, welcome to another Wargames Illustrated review. This is issue number 367, which is May 2018. It's a bumper issue with 8 extra pages. The theme is End of Empire, so here we go. Okay, so think about this, a little bit behind. You know, my mother's at the hospital, a lot of caring, taking up time. So I'm going to try and catch up with some videos, especially with the sun, so glorious. Right, so here's a quick look at the contents page. I think it's the easiest way to summarise it. Obviously, the observation post. Then we got the theme, the ships of the enemy have come. Pete Brown about, this is End of Civilizations, so looking at ancient stuff. Then we got Burrows and Badgers, Wargaming Adrianople, Graveyard of Tanks, 7 Cities of Kibula, anyway, it's Mesoamerica, so how we say that. Then you've got the great Rick Priestley being interviewed. Outlaw with sculptor Steve Saller about the Elf King. We've got the Ottoman Twilight, sort of pre-World War I wargaming. Then Outremer, I call it Outremer, apparently it's Outremer, which is the Jamie Gordon's game for sort of skirmish level crusades. Just as this camera's a bit wonky. Sorry about that. Shall I lean that way? Yeah. Then we've got Scenes to the Downfall of the Reich, which is the Last Stand stuff. Godslayer Fight Withdrawal, Wargaming the French Indochina War 1954, Making a Monument, which is the Mesoamerica thing again, and then Plastic Figures, End of Empire, and then a company profile on Adrian's War. So a lot in here. Alright, so let's have a quick whiz through to give you an idea. Some house ads. And an observation post is just ram-jammed with stuff this month. I have to say, I know this is a review of Wargames Illustrated, but something I find disappointing with miniature Wargames. Why haven't they got all this stuff in there? It's okay, so we've got this amazing Battlefront Team Yankee. So modern kind of urban landscapes, I guess you'd call that. This looks great. And they got the new plastic chariot coming out from, what was it, Victrix. And this is the Druid who actually rides on the chariot, who I think looks awesome. I'd quite like to just get him. And then we've got for King and Parliament, which obviously with Simon Miller, To the Strongest background. And yes, I am going to finally put those To the Strongest battle reports up. Beautiful figures from Empress Miniatures, as always. And we've got Crooked Dice with some more weird sort of fantasy type stuff. Great Escape Games, local interest there. And they're really expanding here. You've got some World War I infantry, obviously more cowboy stuff. And then Gripping Beasts, some fantastic releases coming out from there. We really are being spoilt with figures at the moment. And a really fancy, what have I got? Age of Crusade Saga. I've done a review of that I need to post as well. You're going to spend another, was it 30 quid or something? But the late Roman heavy cavalry I like. And I'm going to be using those for my Arthurian British army, which is a slightly different subject. Some Bronze Age stuff. Anyway, I'll speed up, there's so much in here. We've got Studio Miniatures, Gringos 40s, all with new releases. And they really are cracking. Perry's, Chasseur Cheval, that sort of cavalry. Everyone goes to Cuirassiers, as I always do, and Guard and things, but these kind of guys around look fantastic, and you do need them in your games. Right, this I did check, it doesn't mention specifically, but these are 28mm figures of celebrities, which I think are cool. Get some of those. Warlord, more cool figures. North Star, this fantasy game, they're kind of expanding with more plastic figures, fantastic. And First Corps, beautiful additions to the English Civil War. Well, not just English Civil War, but you know, it's that kind of period. And you promised me you'd sit still. Well, there's Exodus. Loads more stuff for that. Oh, hang on. And then, I don't know, some books vaguely to do with wargaming. Right, House Says is Oathmark. Again, I say that's plastic fantasy. Ghost Archipelago. Loads of... Oh, hang on, there was definitely one more advert I meant to talk about. We missed one. There's the fantastic Barbarians. They must be further in the book, are they? Yeah, they must be coming up later. Almost this month's issue, because I am falling behind. Right, okay, on to the articles quickly. There we are. This is all about the collapse this Mediterranean collapse. So this must be 300 years of dark ages. Now, a lot of discussion and theories as to why everything collapsed. Interdependent economies, natural disasters, foreign invasion, although who the foreigners were when everyone's invaded, Martians. Anyway, it's a combination of factors. Natural problems, possible climate change, breakdown of trading, interrelated economies, all this kind of stuff. Or, if you could a historian like Alan Wilson, who just shows that what it is that dating is all linked back to Egyptians. And what we actually got is the dating is out by 300 years, and there is no dark age period where nothing happened at all in the Middle East. It's just a gap in our dating. But all that aside, this is a fantastic article. And it gives you very much the mainstream history version of what happened and who dropped where. And he's thrown in loads of detail, loads of lovely pictures of figures. Pete Brown's always a very good writer. And he's come up with a game here, how to sort of run your own little empire, gradually collapsing. Tsunamis, give you an idea, earthquake, invasions, droughts, all that kind of stuff. So top marks for the article, even though I got a feeling in another few years' time, all that history is going to be completely turned over when they realise it's because a lot of Egyptian dating is messed up. There you go, controversial subjects, Foundry adverts, loads of lovely figures. Right, this is always good, I think, when you have designers' notes. For me, I like writing rules, and this I'm particularly impressed with. Same Jason, isn't it? Sorry. Michael Lovejoy, I apologise, that's the other rules I'm thinking of. How he came up with the rules. What's really good about this, it tells you how you deal with publishers, the process. Not an awful lot about the rules, to be honest. It's more about the process of how you design a set of rules, which I think is far more interesting. And that's a very good article. And I enjoyed that. We've got more Team Yankee. I'm falling behind the clock. Come on, speed it up. Right, Wargame and Adrianople. Now talk about an expert on a niche subject. Who's written this? Simon McDowell. Hats off, there's a man who knows this battle. And he's used to fought it, different scales, different rules. It's an interesting battle anyway, and you can see loads and loads and loads of detail, factors leading up to it, who's involved in it, sets of rules you can use. Amazing, amazing, amazing article. And lovely pictures. Although they look a bit staged rather than game pictures, but still very nice. You know, some house ads. Here we got Oathmark again. It's really being pushed. Arrows and badges. And we got Godslayer Kickstarter. When does this end? I think it's on now. And I might be ending. I looked at this ages ago. And they are absolutely stunning figures. It was expensive though, I remember when I looked at it. With beautiful figures. And you could use them for many other fantasy. You don't just need to use them for this. It's a kind of primitive Bronze Agey look to a lot of it. It's a bit Warhammer. Very cool figures though. I just don't want to dip into the whole thing. This great article, The Graveyard of Tanks. And this is about Indo-Pakistan War. Let's just check out that right. Yeah, Second Indo-Pakistani War, 1965. And all the war's horrible, I know, but this one's a really good one for wargamers because it's not as well known, and a lot of the kit they were using was sort of leftover World War II kit. So if you've got a World War II collection, you can pretty much play this as is. Both sides equipped mostly by Pattons and British stuff, British helmets, British uniforms. You could just play this as it is. Here we are, as an Indian Army Sherman tank, for example. And yeah, not wars I knew an awful lot about. And very interesting how I use these kind of mats for fields. And one of the key features of this was the tanks had very poor visibility due to the very high wheat blocking them out. And then you got the guys up on the cupolas getting shot. And I actually got this book somewhere, I think. Anyway, more books, the Pakistani army, so it's an armoured battle. I think anyone likes playing World War II with lots of tanks will enjoy that. More Foundry, man, they really do fill this magazine. Right, speed up a bit, 7 cities of, how do you say this again? Chibala. I'm going to go with Chibala. Go on, correct me. Someone's going to drop a comment. I don't know. Amazing scenarios and stuff. A great article because it dispels a lot of the myths. This idea that, you know, these sort of stupid savages thought they were gods, Spanish and all this kind of thing. Really reported the fact that, you know, tens of thousands of local tribes fighting for the Spanish. It wasn't a few hundred men wading through and taking out millions. It's this kind of Western-centric version of history we get. And yes, they did stand up to cannons and cavalry and stuff like that. So anyway, excellent article. Sorry, credit where credit's due. I enjoyed reading this. I need to give some... Oh, it's Pete Brown again. There we are. He Mr. Busy. He is very good. And then we got Little Torch. Then the High God himself, Rick Priestley, gets second billing behind Steve Saller. So there we are. Steve Saller, top sculptor, gets billing before Rick Priestley. It's controversial. So I was hoping to find a bit more about the game, but you can read it yourselves. It's basically explaining sort of skirmish level fantasy, high fantasy. So there we go. Some nice pictures. And something about the sculpting. So all good stuff. It's a cracking issue. This is going to be the game, I think. The Book of the Red Elf King, sorry. Right, okay, he's cracking through. Badger again, doing loads of good stuff. Sorry, you wouldn't have seen that. Ottoman Twilight. Another very interesting article. Who's at this time? Colonel retired Bill Gray, who gives a nod to his own rules, his Age of Eagles, and now he's got a free download, so you can play this period. This is kind of early World War I. It's prior. I made a few notes. Give you an idea. About 339,000 Ottomans starting against 700 odd thousand of the enemy. About Bulgarians and various troops being mobilised. Again, if you've got World War I troops, you can play this pretty easily yourself, no problem. Here we go. This one here, Lula Bulgas, is where the biggest war between the Franco-Prussian War and World War I. This is a serious war, which doesn't really get much mention or coverage. Okay, first call, fantastic. Then we got another designer's notes. I've been spoilt this month. This is Outremer. Someone tell me how you say that. Outremer I go with. And this was, again, how the rules were developed. This is Jamie Gordon. Apologise, Jamie. Called you Jason. Jamie. And it's great. This is step by step the whole process of how you get from an idea to a set of rules published. And I can see it's a labour of love, and a lot of thoughts got into it. It's been play tested, and I would give it a go based on that, even if you have to put up with a picture of Orlando Bloom. What can you do? Right, okay. Sorry, it's just my anti-elf. That was my only problem with the Elf King rules. It's all elves. Everything's elves. There's no orcs, nothing, just elves. Which immediately brings out my racial prejudices. Okay. Right, Adrian's Walls. Nice big adverts, just as well, because they got a big article in here as well. Scenes of the downfall of the Reich. Obviously controversial area, because we look at this history through 70 years of war films and propaganda about Nazis and whatever. And I know people are uncomfortable with it. It shows that they're hanging on with very little boys fighting, things like that. Outnumbered 10 to 1, no fuel, no air support. And it's like, there you go. It's sort of being overrun from all angles, and how you can do wargaming at a sort of gradual, or not even gradual, is it? Fairly rapid collapse in the end. And well, surprisingly, man, there's figures to go with it. So advertising, definitely talking to editorial, which I don't have a problem with. Ah, here's the thing. That's the one I was on about. I love this guy. Who's this remind you of? I remember the old White Dwarf days? It's got to be Thrud the Barbarian, isn't it? I'm going to get to him. I don't know what's happened to my old Thrud figure. I think they're worth quite a lot now. Right, Godslayer. I don't understand this article. It looks amazing. But it's a battle report from a game no one really knows. It tries to tie it in with a Roman thing. I didn't really get it. Right, personal interest again for me. Oh, that was nice. On my video, was that you? Mr. Snorty. Wargaming the French Indochina War. And this has got interest because my wife's father, he was part of, it's not really mentioned here, but Chiang Kai-shek's bunch fleeing from China went there first. And his childhood memories was when he was trading the food they could gather with the French pastries. And also the French bakeries were fantastic. So they'd hand their sort of fruit and whatever they managed to forage through the fence, and the French soldiers would hand out the beautiful French bread and sort of croissants and all that kind of thing. But there we go. It says the French were caught between two stools. They had an army trained and equipped for a conventional war in Europe, which had to learn to fight a very different war in Asia. Exactly the same as the UN forces in Korea were doing and the US were doing Vietnam a decade later. Oddly, the French had their own experience of fighting the German occupiers to draw on, but completely ignored it. Yeah, because they've been... Well, how much did they fight the Germans off is another controversial subject. Oh, history's so much fun. A lot of France actually seem to quite happily go over to the German Empire. But there you go. I'll get in trouble again if I'm not careful. Right, there we go. Right, and then we got some hobby advice for making Mesoamerica. Pushing the Central America theme again. This is James Floyd Kelly. These weird articles, pushing the plastic figures. Basically, you want to do End of Empire, there's loads of stuff in 172nd and 132. And company profile, I quite like these, get to meet the people. Let's get your faces on there. There we are, Adrian's Walls. And they're doing very well. And a bigger occupation I thought. Please don't knock the table and rattle the camera. And that's it, we're done, I think. Some adverts and adverts. Oh, there was an interesting advert I wanted to pick out. We got Partisan tomorrow. So good luck seeing that. Yeah, this one. Raising an obelisk using an A-frame. So there you go. And if you look, always people say how they couldn't possibly have built pyramids or obelisks. Romans shifted large stones all over the place, across the Mediterranean. And sometimes it might take 20 A-frames. You can see diagrams from engineers of how they did it, so it's not such a mystery. I love these figures. Poirot and all that kind of thing. All right, you see you're getting bored, so everyone else probably is. All right, and there's and then we got the War of Three Kings, which I guess is direct rival with the King and Parliament. And there's Warfare Miniature. Hey, what is that? Most comprehensive range of 28mm Wargame models available for, well, that 1680 to 1700 odd period. Oh, there we go. Hats off to them. And Gripping Beast, who really are cranking out the figures. I didn't mention earlier, as we whizzed past on the product thing, is I noticed they've tweaked with their Dark Age plastics just a little bit. Oh, I also meant to mention these. Fireforge, these Northern Infantry. There's a Kickstarter. I'm going to check if that's still going. I want to get into that. It looks great. I like those. Look at those figures. Just what I need. Some basic heavy foot. I think I better stop there because I can't find the thing. But anyway, Gripping Beasts, they've got like Keels for the Saxons, and they've got more bog standard troops, which is great for Saga and any other games in that period. So, very good. Excellent issue. I mean, one of the reasons my report's late, it took so long to read it. And now I've got this month just arrived, so I thought I'd better get it out. Stop shaking my camera, you. Anyway, time to say goodbye. And until the next time, keep rolling. Say keep rolling, nice and loud. Into the...
Keep rolling!
But they can see you, look. Stand
Keep
up.
rolling!
Keep rolling. Never work with animals and children. Bye.
Hi guys, we're the BBC News.
Yes, you do.
And today there are two snugglers,
Right.
Daddy,
Come on.
having a cuddle. We're good, Daddy.
I got things to do. Come on.
Bye! Bye!
Come on. Yeah, hang on. What issue is it? May 367. All right.
我们要互相亏欠。